What initially attracted you to this project?
The script. I mean, the script and Terry. When I heard that Terry was signed up, and I read the script, I knew that it was on the page. ABC was definitely going to support it if the two of us jumped on together. I could visually see the two of us playing husband and wife as a power couple. And I think the appeal, it's very topical. You know, landmark building. He's not quite on the up and up. She is kind of his partner in crime. A building that people always aspire to live in. Being from New York, you know, the Ansonia is where they shot the exterior. Whenever you drive by, it's like, oh my God. And you think about the history, and you think about how old and how Babe Ruth used to live in it. You think about the history of the building, and then it's kind of revealed in our show. But then the ensemble that they chose, the cast is strong and young and just solid. So I'm excited.
Can you tell us a little bit about Gavin and Olivia's relationship and what it is, you know, their marriage and what it is they're trying to accomplish together and everything like that?
Well, I mean, honestly, we've only shot the pilot, so I don't know where we're going, and we have our first read-through on Wednesday back in New York. What the direction we got and the overall tone, since it is also 10 o'clock Sunday night ABC, which is owned by Disney, and you know, they want it to be alluring, seductive, and they were really kind of veering away from saying evil, because we don't want people to say, oh, it's another ghost story, but alluring and seductive, that everybody wants to be us and wants to have our lifestyle, which the more I talk about it, it's kind of like the Madoffs. Madoffs had everything. No one knew how they got their money, but everybody believed in them and trusted them because they had everything. They had the yachts and the house in Palm Springs. They had the fabulous penthouse apartment. They had the luxury of going to the opera and the Philharmonic, and people wanted to be there. So I kind of equate it to that kind of power couple in New York. And obviously Terry is a brilliant actor and completely has the stature and the chops to pull that off, and I think it was a great combination.
But you think she knows what he's doing, or your impression of it?
When we shot the pilot, it's almost like we did it a couple different ways. So they would have the option in the editing room, and those are the questions that you ask as an actor. Does she know? Does she not know? I said, well, just be friendly, okay? You know, so I have no idea where they're taking it, but I think the overall, and it's even more interesting, like Rosemary's Baby, for instance. It wasn't a blatant slasher horror film. The characters were so unique. You know, Ruth Gordon's like, who is that lady? And why does she make me scared? She's a tiny little woman. You know. So I think the tone is one of those things where, okay, I don't know, I like these people, but I'm not quite sure if I want to live in this building, but I do, but why do I feel uncomfortable? And, you know, it's illustrated in the pilot.
So you would say temptation is a big part of this series?
I would say greed, temptation, seduction, and power. It all comes down to power, whether it's supernatural power, whether it's monetary power, whether it's political power. These are all things that are touched on. You know, voyeurism, marital power, who wears the pants in the family. I think all those ideas and themes can be explored, and that's why I think it works and it's really contemporary.
And for you as an actor, it's kind of a different thing that you've done before, right? It's a genre.
I've only done two. I mean, if it's considered sci-fi, which is I think why we're here, which is kind of a loose, you know, genre. I did a TV movie called World War III, which is pretty much, I guess, I did one episode of Deep Space Nine, which is totally sci-fi back in the day. I did something called Future Sport, which is Dean Cain and Wesley Snipes, and we were battling it out on rollerblades and stuff. So this is more seductive sci-fi, which I much prefer.
Yeah. more dramatic too.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, well, I'll ask this. I don't know how much you can speculate, but in the pilot, Olivia says that Jane reminds her of her daughter. Do you have any sort of inkling? Is that story going to go somewhere? Are we going to maybe learn about their history?
Probably. I mean, there was a scene that they cut with me looking at a picture of my daughter and breaking down, which they didn't use. So maybe they're saving that for a whole other storyline. And in actuality, when we were shooting the pilot, Dave and the producer said, "Listen, we've trying to cast your daughter. We just can't find somebody who's beautiful enough." So I go, "Well, then use my daughter." And they goes, "Really?" Because yeah, she lives down in the East Village. You know, she's available. You want me to call her? They go, "Yeah, we'll set a transport van." And so they used my daughter Jillian, but I do have a daughter named Sasha, which is also a little bit freaky. And so I talk about my dead daughter Sasha, and my alive daughter Jillian actually was the one who played her in the photo. So we'll see where it goes, and if it goes and they use my daughter, that would be fantastic for me as well.
Is she an actress?
She's an actress and a singer and a dancer. Yeah, so
Great.
So nice. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to me.